Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Spiritual Safe House. And for those of you who don't know, my name is Laura. And today we're going to be talking about mindfulness, okay? And I just kind of wait a minute to see, to wait for some people to hop on before we start talking, okay? But today we're going to be talking about mindfulness and what that means, some things that you can do that are really, really simple to practice mindfulness that really don't take any time out of your day. And then at the end, I'm going to show you a couple of crystals that I think are good to help with mindfulness and staying in the present moment, okay? So I'll wait probably like 30 seconds more here. All right, guys. Okay, so what is mindfulness and how can we use it daily? So, first off, let me say that I think mindfulness is very, very important because it's a very, very simple way for you to get back in tune with what's happening with you in the present moment, and not be so worried about everything else that's going on around you. So mindfulness is about being in the present moment and literally being aware of what's going on in your life. Now, I know that can seem or sound a little silly, because you might say, oh, well, I'm aware of everything that's going on in my life. I can rattle off, 10, 20 negative things that are happening to me right now. I'm very aware of what's happening in my life, and I'm very aware of how much stress I'm having, and all the things that I have to do and everything like that. But mindfulness is not just about being aware of all the negative things that are happening in your life. It's about noticing what's happening at this very second. So, and that may be something negative or something frustrating or something that's annoying you. So when you are practicing mindfulness, you want to just use all of your senses to just focus on what's happening at this exact moment. So if it is something pleasant that's happening, you want to really see what's going on around you. Notice specific details of your life that are happening that are happy in that moment. Be aware of the feelings that you are having and, try to amplify those happy feelings. What do you hear around you? Do you hear people laughing? Do you hear people talking and telling positive stories? What do you hear? So, you want to focus on all of these things, when you're practicing mindfulness. And try to sit with those feelings, and make a connection to be able to remember those things at a later time where maybe you're not feeling so great. But if you are feeling frustrated or angry, annoyed at something that just happened, you can take those feelings and sit with those feelings as well. Be mindful that you're feeling frustrated. Be mindful that you're feeling annoyed by something. And through that, you can see how your body feels, see what's going on around you at that time. What is it that's frustrating you? And then make a conscious choice to think the opposite, to make that conscious choice of changing the way that you're feeling, okay? Because we choose all of these things, and you can make the choice to not feel frustrated or to not let something get on your nerves so much. And this is all part of the ascension process and reaching that 5D consciousness of, feeling more love and understanding. And, I like to describe it as being less reactive and more understanding to situations. So becoming mindful that you are having negative feelings can help to promote you to be less reactive and choose to be less reactive and more understanding to what is going on around you at that moment. Okay? Now, someone that I like to follow, who teaches a lot about mindfulness, has been doing it for many, many years and has, courses about this, is John Kabat-Zinn. So if you YouTube him or Google him, he's got a lot of great, valuable information about this topic. And one example that I remember him giving is the shower example. So when you are in the shower, are you actually in the shower or are you somewhere else? Are you, at your meeting that you have to be in the morning, or are you, thinking about an argument that you are anticipating having with someone regarding a specific conversation later in your day, or are you at the grocery store shopping, or are you actually in the shower, feeling the water hit you, feeling the warmth of the water, feeling the soap on your body? Is that where you are, or are you somewhere else? And to me, that example is so amazing because, the shower is somewhere, I think, where a lot of people have a lot of ideas and, are thinking about a lot of things. It might be the only time, might be the only time for some parents I know that they get a little bit of alone time, maybe. So when next time that you're in the shower, try to actually be in the shower. And doing something as simple as that is practicing mindfulness. And doing something as simple as that can be very meditative. So when, if you say, oh, well, I don't have time to meditate, I don't have time to be mindful, I have so much to do, that is something that is not taking any extra time away from your day. You're already in the shower. You're probably going to be doing that every day almost, right? So take that time to use that as a time to quiet your mind and to really be present in what's going on with you, okay? So I love that example that I heard from him, and I never forgot that. But, we really do. We are trained to think that we have so much to do and that we have no time to do any of it, right? So we always think this, and we're taught, even from children, we're taught that we always have to be doing. And if we're not doing, then we're being unmotivated, we're being unproductive, we're being lazy, all these things. But that's not true, like we think that we have no time to do anything, when in reality, all we have is time. We make these, we make up these things that say that we have no time to do anything because everything else is so much more important than spending time for ourselves. And you need to know that all you have is time. And how do you want to spend your time? Do you want to spend your time, somewhere else? Or do you want to actually focus on what's happening in your life? Do you want to actually be present in your life? So taking that example, and using that kind of as a starting point to know that you can practice mindfulness very easily. Just in your morning routine, you can practice mindfulness when you're in the shower, when you're brushing your teeth. Pay attention to what it feels like when you're brushing your teeth. That's practicing mindfulness. And that, the more that you do that, the more you'll realize naturally that you're doing it. Even when you're eating, you can practice mindfulness when you're eating. We go through so many times where we're scarfing down food because we have 5 seconds to eat something, and you don't even remember what you ate, So take that time when you're eating to, pay attention to what the food tastes like. Pay attention to what it feels like, Pay attention to what you feel like afterwards. What does it smell like, what does your sandwich feel like that you're holding? And this may sound silly, but this is doing all these things is practicing mindfulness, and it brings you to a place of being centered. Now, I I don't know where this quote came from, but I heard it and it made me laugh so hard, and it really is true. But so I apologize for not knowing where this came from. This did not come from me. But the quote was, if you have one foot in the past and one foot in the future, you're pissing all over the present. And how true is that? How true is that? You're not paying attention to anything that's going on in your life right now. You know, we're always thinking about the past, things that we feel guilty about, things that we should have changed, we should have done better, I should have said this and not that, what would have happened if I, played out the situation like this. Or you're spending so much time focusing on the future, being anxious about things that might happen, things that might not happen, things that, you have to get done. Oh my God, I have so much to do tomorrow. How am I going to get all this stuff done? And think about how many hours a day you focus on those two things, and you have no clue what's happening right now. You have no clue. You are missing the smile on your child's face from playing with their favorite toy. You are missing the birds feeding their babies out of the nest that you can see from your front porch. You are missing the sunset when you're driving. You're missing the compliment that your spouse gave you, that you were arguing yesterday about them not giving you enough compliments. You're missing all of that. And those are the things that are really important in life. It's not being anxious about the work meeting that you have to be in. And this, I don't know. It's not about those things. It's not about what happened 20 years ago and what you should have said and you didn't. So, that's over. And I'm not saying that these things don't affect the way that we live, but, thinking about something that happened 10 or 20 years ago and letting that affect your life now seems pretty silly, doesn't it? How long are you going to perseverate or punish yourself over things that happened in the past? It's time to let go of those things and focus on what's going on right now, because you're missing your entire life. You're missing your entire life. So, with that said, I want to show you guys the one crystal, maybe two, that I think, is really helpful in staying in the present moment. And so one that I really like to use is smoky quartz. So I'll show you here. So smoky quartz is great for grounding, okay? And it has all the same properties of quartz, and so it's really great for, amplification. It's great for all of the chakras, but specifically smoky quartz is great for the root chakra. Like I said, great for grounding and staying in the moment. Okay, I have another piece right here. This one's kind of cool. Okay, so if, because I know when I like to get grounded, I, like to go outside, stand barefoot in the grass or whatever, and I heard someone else was talking about being grounded as well, and they said that if you're unable to do that, like right now there's snow all over the ground, so I'm not going to go outside and stand in the grass, but you can, touch the dirt in a potted plant. That'll help you get grounded. I thought that was a really neat idea to do that. Or you can use crystals to get grounded, and there are many other ways that you can do that. But smoky quartz is one that I really, really love. So it's really great for just bringing you back to what's happening in this present moment. Okay, and keeping you centered, helping to keep your thoughts focused on what you want, in your life right now. And another piece, let me show you right here. So this is a great combination, I think. So this is smoky citrine, and I know it's kind of hard to see the yellowy pieces. This is smoky citrine. So citrine, I'm also wearing a citrine necklace here. So citrine is great for, prosperity, money, happiness, things like that. So if you are trying to bring that into your life, like if you're noticing that, when you're practicing mindfulness and you're noticing a lot of negative things, if you want to bring some joy and some happiness and that kind of energy into your life, maybe a piece of smoky citrine would be great because it gives the properties of both. So it's going to give that happiness, but it's also going to give that that real grounding piece as well. Okay, so I just wanted to take a little bit of time and talk to you guys about this because I think that it's so important and it's something so easy that we can do with anything in our life. We can practice mindfulness anytime, and it really doesn't take a lot more time out of your day, because you can use it when you're doing other things. You can practice mindfulness when you're doing the dishes. How does all that feel? What is actually going on in this exact moment? And just really paying attention to that and being aware of what's happening in your life. So, all right, guys. Now, in my 12-week spiritual development program, we do spend an entire week on mindfulness, okay? Because I do think it is that important that I want to spend that time with you guys. So if you are interested in my 12-week program, you can check that out at thespiritualsafehouse.com, or if you had any specific questions that you just wanted to PM me on Facebook, I can answer them on there. That's no problem at all. Okay, and like I said, we spend an entire week on mindfulness and practicing that and getting to know, getting in touch with your feelings a little bit more through mindfulness. So that's something that you're interested in, let me know. You can start my 12-week program at any time. There's no specific days times to start that. Okay, so if you are interested in that, like I said, you can PM me at the Spiritual Safe House on Facebook, or you can check out all the information on that on my website, thespiritualsafehouse.com. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I would love to hear your comments and how your mindfulness practice is going. Okay, and I will talk to you guys next time. All right, bye.